All right, my friends, let's get into some multiplication and division. Let's get into it.
Mad Majesty!
All right, friendos, so today we're going to be going over multiplication and division, just a real crash course. But first, when do you use multiplication and division? Let's get into it. Remember our get strategy, okay? Anytime we have groups, each, or total, especially the word group or each, we have to start thinking about multiplication and division. All right, so I'm just going to read this. Mr. R was making cookies. All righty. He placed the cookies on baking sheets that each held 8 cookies. Already we have one of our words. Yeah? Do-do-do-do-do. Each held 8. We have our each. Okay, easy peasy. If Mr. R completely filled 3 baking sheets, how many cookies is he baking? Well, let's see what operation this is. First, let's look over at the bottom. Now, okay, so we have the word each. So we know we have our each. Over here, it is asking us how many cookies is he baking? It looks like this is our question. They're asking for a total amount of cookies. Did they give us any groups? Yes. Right here, it says there's 3 groups. Yes. Each group has 8. So we have each has 8. There are 3 groups. So we need the total. Anytime the total's missing or we're missing the total, our operation is multiplication. So we, using get, now know we have to multiply. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We're not going to do the multiplication yet. We're just going to learn how to decipher when we use multiplication and when we use division. Let's move on. Boom. So I'm going to read this one too. No guessing. Mr. R was making cookies. Okay? He placed the cookies on baking sheets that each held 8 cookies. All right. If Mr. R was baking 64 cookies, how many baking sheets does he need? Well, let's start breaking this down. First, let's look at our question. How many baking sheets? Do we see each or groups anywhere? Yes, we do. Right here we see each held 8. So we still have our each 8. Let's make that white. 8. So we have our each. Do we have groups? He didn't do 64 groups. So I think our groups is missing. Let's keep looking. He was baking 64. That sounds like a total to me. 64. We have our total. Looks like the only thing missing is our groups. If the only thing missing is groups or the each, that means we're going to be dividing. Okay? If they ever give us the total, we're going to be dividing. Okie dokie, artichoke. Alrighty, so let's actually get into the practice. Boom. First, we're just going to practice some real simple 2x1 multiplication. Remember that this is a 3rd grade teak, but we're going to go over it really quickly. 34 times 6. Always remember your pickles and hearts, or if you didn't get top pickles and hearts, bottom ones to the bottom ones, then bottom ones to the bottom 10s. Easy peasy. Here we go. You always start at the lowest place value when you're putting stuff together. And we're looking at the bottom. So right here, if we multiply our ones, I see 6 times 4. Well, 6 times 4 is 24. Now, a lot of kiddos want to just put their answer down there. But remember, our answer has 2 place values. 10s and 1s. Well, what did we just solve? We solved the 1s place. So we're going to put the answer for the 1s place. The 4. So where does the 2 go? Well, with the 10s. Plus 2. since it's an answer, I'm going to add it to whatever answer I get from the next multiplication, because we haven't done the tens yet. So, let's do the tens. 6 times 3. My tens place is 6 times 3. Well, that equals 18. But I still have 2 tens from another answer that I have to add to it. Plus 2, well, that's 20. Easy peasy. Now, 20. How come I didn't raise anything that time? Well, because there isn't another place value. Since there isn't another place value, it doesn't go with the next place value. You just put your answer down there. And our answer is 204. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay, next one. Another multiplication? Yes, we're going to go over 2 by 2 because I saw a lot of kiddos struggling with this. Let's do 32 times 14. Okay, just like before, we're going to start on the bottom at the lowest place value. That's the ones. Don't zoom in yet. Okay, so our first is 4 times 2. Well, that's 8. There's only one place value and it's in the ones, so we're good. 8. Our next one is 1 to the tens. Well, that's 4 times 3. That equals 12. There's not another place value, so I just put down my 12. 128. Easy peasy. Now, here's where some kiddos start making the boo-boos. We already did the ones place, so our answer's not going to start in the ones place. We're going to the tens place, so our answer has to start in the tens place. But we just don't leave a blank. What's the number for a blank, though? Well, 0. So, we're going to put our 0. Because we're not starting in the ones, we did the ones. We're starting in the tens. So we're just going to put our 0 in the ones for now. Alrighty. Our first 10 is 1 times 2. So hard. 2. Our next one, 1 times 3. 3. Again, there's not another place value, so I didn't have to raise anything. Now what? Now you just add them together. 8 plus 0 is 8. 2 plus 2 is 4. 1 plus 3 is 4. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now you're drinking lemonade. Okay, so just remember, place value actually matters all the time, and the way you go about it always matters. So always think of it like if you're putting all the small parts together first, then you're putting all the big parts. Alrighty, next practice. Boom, the division. Okay, I'm going to start with just some easy division, stuff that you're already used to, and I'll show you one easy way to solve it, and then I'm going to show you one with the remainder. Here we go. 36 divided by, let's do 4. That's not going to work out. Let's see. Now, remember that division is the inverse of multiplication. So if with multiplication, we're starting at the lowest place value and putting groups together, in division, we're starting at the highest place value and taking groups out. So, right here, we have 3 divided by 4. If you have 3, can you take a group of 4 out? Well, no. What's the answer for no? Well, that's 0. Ooh. So, now we're going to go to the next place value. 36. You're not just looking at 6. Now you're looking at the whole thing. Now, I am going to draw this out. I never expect you to do this, but in case you really don't remember what division is, you have a total of 36 and you're going to take out groups of 4. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Bam! Okay. Now what am I doing with these? I'm taking out groups of 4. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's one group. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's two groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's three groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. Four groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 groups cross. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 7 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 8 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. 9 groups. So I was able to take 9 groups of 4 out of 36. So my answer up top is 9. Now, if you knew your facts, you should have already known that. The whole time I was counting, you should have been screaming, "It's 9! It's 9!" But just in case, this is to show you how division works. Now, does McDonald's sell boogers? What does this mean? This means divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Okay, now, we did our division. Check. Now we multiply. What is 4? Whoa! What is 4 times 9? Well, that's 36. Check. Now we subtract. 36 minus 36, well, that's 0. Do we need to bring anything down? No, there's nothing there. So our answer is 9. Now that's a quick crash course in division. Now let's look at something with a remainder. Here we go. Now I'm going to look at 54 divided by 2. This time I'll put that little helpful aid on the left before I start, just in case you didn't know that. Does McDonald's sell boogers? You divide, you multiply, you subtract, and then you bring down. So, let's get into it. Our very first step, remember we're doing the inverse of multiplication, so we're looking at the highest place value and taking groups out. 5 divided by 2. Remember what division is. Our total is 5. We're going to take out groups of 2. 1, 2. There's 1. 1, 2. There's 2. Even though there's 1 left, I can't take it out because it has to be in a group of 2. So, how many groups was I able to take out? 2. So our answer in the first part is 2. 5 divided by 2 is 2. We divided. Now let's multiply. What is 2 times 2? How many total dots am I taking out? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 2 times 2 is 4. And I'm taking them out. I multiplied. Now I'm going to subtract to take them out. 5 minus 4, well, that's 1. Now I'm going to bring down. We bring down our next number. That's 14. Now this time I'm not going to draw, so you should know your facts. What is 14 divided by 2? 7. 7. So I divide it. Now I need to multiply. What is 2 times 7? Well, that's 14. I multiply. Now I'm going to subtract. 14 minus 14 is 0. And I brought down. Now, I'm going to change this just a little bit so that you guys can see what is actually happening here, okay? What if... Okay, so let's think about this another way. What if this were 55? I'm going to pick off right there. We already did our first step. Now, let's bring down a 5. and let's see how the problem changes, okay? So, 15 divided by 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, let's go with white. Boop, 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 boop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so now we have 15. I'm going to take out groups of 2. 1, 2. 1. 1, 2. 2. 1, 2. 3. 1, 2. 4. 1, 2. 5. 1, 2. 6. 1, 2. 7. The answer is the same? Not quite. Take a look at our picture and let's finish the actual operations to see what happens at the end. So, I have 7. That means I divided. Now I'm going to multiply. What is 2 times 7? Well, that's 14. Now I'm going to subtract. That's 1. There's nothing left to bring down. This here 1. What is that 1? Well, this 1 is this 1 dot that got left over and still remains after I pulled out all my group. What's that called? A remainder. So we're going to put an R for remainder because we're saying after we took out our groups, there was still some remaining that couldn't make another full group. Well, what is our remainder? Our remainder is 1. Now, a lot of kiddos think, alrighty, yay, I'm finished. But depending on the question, there's 4 answers there. Okay, let me tell you the 4 answers. The first answer is, how many total full groups were you able to take out? Well, 27. The next answer is, well, what is just a mathematical answer? Well, that's 27 remainder 1. But what if they were talking about like candy bags and these were candies? How many like candies were left over that couldn't be in a bag? Well, then your answer's 1, not 27. You were able to make 27 bags. How many candies were left over that couldn't be put into a full bag? Well, 1. Now here's the next answer that I love. I'm gonna take out these little marks. Boop. Let's pretend that we are doing an activity and these are 55 kiddos and I want you guys to get on those little bicycles with 2 seats. Whoa! Bring, bring. So it takes 2 kids to be on each bike. Yeah? I want everyone to ride a bike. Everyone to ride a bike. Well, what happens with this one kiddo? He doesn't get to ride a bike? So what if the question were this? How many bikes would I need to make sure everyone gets to ride a bike? Well, it wouldn't be 27, because then poor little Billy here. Yes, teachers always call that one kid Billy, okay? Poor little Billy here, he doesn't get to ride a bike. Well, that's sort of mean, right? So if the question were how many total bikes do I need to ensure everyone gets a ride? Well, I would need 28 bikes. There's your 4th answer, right? Anytime they're talking about kids going on buses and going to a field trip, anytime they're talking about tables and you have to see everyone, you always have to think about that. Because you don't want someone left out that doesn't get a ride on the bus, that doesn't get a seat on the table, or doesn't get to ride a bike. So you always have to think about that when you're looking at the question. All right, my friends, so that was a crash course on multiplication and division. I've taken much more of your time than I intended. I absolutely love you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye-bye-bye. Hey, friendos, thanks for watching. Remember, we can only have a brighter future with the brighter you. Bye.